So now finally we are going to start replicating our pattern here. Before we do that, go to cloth / to isolate it and then go to edit mode, and as you can see our topology is not really even. It is much more condensed at the top and very empty at the middle and at the bottom. So to fix that, it is quite simple. Hold Alt, select this edge loop, press GZ, hold Shift Control and move this edge loop down to the middle here. Now hold Alt again, select this one, press S, Z0, and then move this one down just a bit. Now what we need to do is select the vertex here at the corner, hold Control, and then click on this one to select the entire side line here. Press GX, hold Control, and snap it to that one. Now double tap G and slide this line here just a bit to give it back its smoothness, and then hold Alt, select this edge loop, press X, dissolve edges, Ctrl R, add 2 segments, and then finally we get a much more even topology here. So what we need to do now to start creating our pattern is add 4 segments to the front and add 3 segments to the side here, and then go back to object mode, click on this icon and then click on this tiny white arrow here. Make sure you apply your mirror modifier and then go back to edit mode. Select this tiny vertex to the bottom right corner and then go to top view, hold Shift Control and then left click on this one. Click on select, checker, deselect, and then go to vertex, select connect vertex pairs. So now while we have our links selected, click on the green icon here and then click on the plus sign to add a new group. Rename it front links or whatever you want, front lines or front whatever you want. Assign your selection. Make sure you assign the selection because this is quite crucial for our next step here. Now deselect and then select this vertex here, hold Shift Control and left click on this one. Do the same here, select, checker, deselect, but this time don't click anywhere. Make sure this menu is open and we need to flip our selection to this vertex because it is the one that is aligned with this one. So later when we bevel, the bevel would just flow with this edge here. And to do that, just turn up the offset from 0 to 1 to switch this. So we have our vertices selected here. That's what we want. Go to vertex and then do the same, connect vertex pairs and create a new group, name it side links, and then assign your selection just like that. Now while we have our side links selected, go to front links and then select as well. Go to front view, click on this icon to turn on X-ray mode and then press B, middle mouse button and drag across all the bottom vertices to deselect them. Now go to top view, go to the back here, just press B and then middle mouse button and drag across them as well to deselect, and then deselect these 2 vertices and finally deselect these front vertices. Now turn off X-ray mode and then Ctrl Shift B, type in 3 to bevel them, and then go to face select mode, Alt E and then extrude faces along normals, type in -5. Go back to vertex select mode, go to vertex merge collapse. Now while we have our vertices selected here, Shift H to hide everything else, select front links and then deselect, go to side links or create a new group, name it side point or pins, then assign our selection like that. Now Ctrl I to invert selection and then press the plus sign, add a new one, name it front pins like that. Assign selection Now move this one up just to keep it organized. Now Alt H to unhide everything, and then make sure now what we need to do is this part will take a bit of time, so I might speed it up or even just cut it from the video, but I will show you the basic process. Click on this icon here to go to edge select mode. So basically what you need to select, first of all, select the straight lines that go into our circle here. On the bottom here, on the bottom part, select these corner diagonal edges, and make sure you select all the diagonal edges in the middle, but don't forget to select these edges as well as this one, and finally this one, and don't select this one, just leave it deselected. So now I will start selecting and see you soon. So now once you have your selection done, make sure this one is not selected, and then save a blend file just as a backup. Now go to solid view, Ctrl B, and then type in 0.8 to bevel it, and then under segments here type in 3. Now Shift H to isolate our selection, go to front links and then deselect, go to side links and then assign. Ctrl I in your 3D space here to invert our selection, and then go to front links, assign our selection. Now press A to deselect, Alt H to bring back our hidden objects, and then under front links, while we have these selections there, click on remove, do the same to this group here, side links, remove. Now deselect, go to front pins, select, side pins, select, and then Control minus on your numpad, and then once again Control plus to select these faces here. Go to vertex select mode, go to vertex, merge vertices, and then collapse. So now what we need to do is click on this icon, choose individual origins, Alt S, and then type in -5. Now Shift Control B and then type in 3. Once you get to the bevel menu here, click on segments and turn it down to 1. What we need to do now is Alt E and then extrude faces along normals. Extrude it outwards just a bit, just like that, and then press S3, enter. Now let's go to matcap mode to see our buttons, maybe Alt S and extrude them outwards just a bit like that. Now since we have our buttons selected, let's create a new group, name it buttons, and then assign our selection to them. Now Control plus on your numpad to grow selection, and then press Y to separate our buttons from the main couch here, and then deselect. Now go to front links, select, side links, select, and then Control plus to increase selection, and then in X-ray mode, deselect all the bottom vertices of our mesh here, and then turn off X-ray mode, Alt S, and then scale outwards to create those stitching effects, and then Control minus on your numpad to minimize selection. go to our buttons here and then deselect. Now Alt S and scale it down, and maybe if you have a very slow PC like I do here, click on this part here, so we can now press E, right click to cancel our extrusion, and then Alt S and scale outwards to create those stitching effects. If we look at our subdivision now, or subdivided mesh, you can see that we get this beautiful pattern here. It looks alright. Now what we need to do is let's mirror it around. To do that, select X-ray mode and then press B and select all the other half here, and then press maybe select these vertices as well, these middle ones, and then press X, delete faces, just like that. Now to delete these ones, all we need is select this vertex here and this one, and then press J to connect them, and then select this one, control select these ones, press X, delete vertices, like that. Come on, I think there's a problem here. Maybe let's isolate our button here as well as this one, Shift H to hide everything else, and then in front view select these two vertices, J, do the same to this one, J. Now delete half of our button here, do the same to this one, press X, delete faces. Now Alt H to bring back our mesh and go to object mode. Make sure your pivot point is set at the middle here, and then add a new mirror modifier. Click on this arrow to move it up, and make sure you check clipping. Now our model is almost done. I will clean it up, but I might not narrate it. It will be just a silent, or maybe I'll add some music. So cheers, have a nice day, and see you in the next video tutorial.